I always worry that my obsession with my dog's health might be unhealthy. Sometimes I put their needs above my own, or at least that's what my AI coach tells me. Uh, but I don't know how to change that. My dogs mean the world to me. They are my children. They are what makes me wake up in the morning. They are my world. Especially, I have three golden doodles, especially the oldest, little bear. And so I do cook for them from time to time. I did some research a while back when they were about a year old. And the research really was just a question of how can I get my dogs to live to 30 years old? um, Although that sounds almost impossible, but there are dogs that have done it, maybe a handful, like two to five, but they have lived to 30. And it seemed like they were in good shape, like they weren't, sick, or they had good quality of life, even though they lived for so long. But yeah, so I remember at the time I did some research using ChatGPT, of course, but asking it, what do these dogs have in common? How did these dogs get to do that? And so the things that they had in common were that they walked a lot. They said up to 20,000 steps a day. One of them was a farm dog. So I have no idea how it managed to, survive the elements and all the different risks that come with being a farm dog. I have no idea, but this dog did it. And it is partly due to how much exercise it got. So that's when I decided, well, maybe my dogs should walk 20,000 steps a day. So I got them the smart collars that track the steps. Luckily, 20,000 steps for medium-sized dogs equals 10,000 steps in human steps. So, I get my daily 10,000 steps in, which is the standard for a healthy life for humans. So yeah, that was one of the changes that I made. The other change was the diet, just as important as exercise, and of course, dogs not being obese. So I changed their diet to a raw diet. All of the food that I've been feeding them raw has been balanced. So it's specifically for dogs. I get it from companies that market raw food for dogs. So it's supposed to have like all the nutrients. This one I have here is Viva for dogs, Viva Raw. I've also tried, I think it's pronounced Mav or Mav, I don't know, Maev, which is also raw. And then I've tried one more, We Feed Raw. We Feed Raw being the cheapest. That's the problem. If you want to feed your dogs raw food, it's very expensive, especially if you're not balancing it, like making it yourself, buying it yourself and doing it all yourself, which I don't trust myself. I don't know how to balance a meal for dogs and make sure they're getting all the nutrients. So I have to purchase raw food for dogs. And it's very expensive, but it seems worth it. And yeah, unfortunately, my dogs lately haven't been eating the actual raw meat. So I'm going to defrost this and I'm going to cook it for them. I call it gently cooking, although sometimes I cook it all the way. They say that for dogs to get all the nutrients, you're supposed to do, well, the most healthy is raw, completely raw. But then the second most healthy is gently cooked, which I think is what my dogs are into right now. So that's what I'm going to do. Oh, today there's duck and there's also chicken. I tend to do a combination of both because they each like different things. So this way they all get a little bit of variety, which by the way, variety in meats is another tip to keep your dogs healthy. So we're going to do 2 minutes and I'm going to turn off the stove because I took a long time talking. So yeah. And normally when I cook the meats, I don't add any seasoning, salt, pepper, none of that, because that's bad for dogs. Just leave it the way it is. Although I did purchase seasoning specifically for dogs, but 2 of my dogs at the moment are overweight, so I don't want to add any extra calories. So yeah, that is typically the process I go through. Let me know if you are just as insane as me and you make sacrifices and do a lot of things that a lot of people would consider insane in order to lengthen the life of your dogs.